Hi guys, I wanted to show you how to fix a couple of things that I noticed in your papers as I was grading. So I'm going to show you how to fix your running header and how to fix your works cited page. So here we go. First I'm going to show you Google Docs and then I'll show you Word as well. So the first thing I see that's wrong with this one is the running header. So the running header, that's the name of student 1 at the top right of the page. So right now it says name of student 1, but then the next page says name 2, and the next one says name 3, and so on. They don't match. And the reason for that is because Google has this stupid automatic setting that makes them different. But thankfully you can turn it off. All you have to do is double click where it says name of student 1, uncheck different first page. That makes all the pages the same. Then we want to make sure that the font and size are the same as the rest of the paper. So I chose Arial 11 for this. So I'm going to highlight the header, if it'll let me here. There we go. I'm going to highlight it and then go over here and select Arial and 11. And the reason why Arial has to be 11 instead of 12 is because it's like a larger font in general. So if you make it Arial 12, it's like too big. So anyway, if you're using Arial, make sure it's Arial 11. Now that I've fixed this name 1, if I double click or just click in the middle of the page, now if I scroll down, all of them are the same. Name 1, name 2, name 3, they all match. And by the way, if you're having trouble getting the numbers to change, or if you're like typing them in manually, you don't have to do that. The way I got the numbers was by going to, well, you would double click where this name 1 is, even if there's nothing there. Then you go to Insert, Page Numbers, and you click this one on the right. There we go. So it started with 0, and so what we want to do is go to Page Numbers, start at 1. There we go. Apply. And the different first page rechecked itself, so I'm going to uncheck that. And I think it's good now. Here, let me click the middle of the screen to, make that go away. And now it's all good again. And one other thing about the running header is it should be 1 inch from the side and a 1/2 inch from the top. So it's closer to the top than the right side. If you can't figure out how to get the running header to work, like if you're having trouble, it's better to just delete it, honestly. Because it's better to have it, to not have it if it's, distracting versus, to have it and have it be distracting. So if you can't figure it out, just delete it. Next thing we have to do is fix this works cited page. So as you can see, it's starting like way at the bottom. We don't want that. We want it to start at the top of the page. And some of you guys might have noticed, like whenever you make changes to your paper, it moves, right? That's really annoying. So the way you fix that is by adding a page break. So a page break is like a line that keeps the works cited page on its own page no matter what you type. So the way to do that in Google Docs is you backspace until your works cited title is right next to your last sentence. And there can't be any spaces between the last sentence and the works cited title. I don't know if you can see this, but the period is right next to the W. Like if I backspace, the period goes away. Like they're right next to each other. That's where it has to be, or it doesn't work for whatever reason. So once you have the cursor right there, then you go to Insert, and on Google Docs, they just call it a break. So I'm going to hit Break and Page Break. Now you'll see how works cited is kind of over a little bit. You don't want to backspace it because that screws it up. Again, I don't know why, but it does. So what you do is you highlight it. Come on, let me highlight. There we go. So what you do is you go to Format and Align and Indent, Indentation Options, and then we get rid of that first line indent. We don't want that. I'm just going to click None and click Apply. Moves it over. Then we can center it. Very important. And then we're going to fix the title because it shouldn't say Works Cite page. It should say Works Cited. And it doesn't have to say page. It shouldn't because, you know, it's implied that it's a page, right? So it should just say Works Cited. So just so you guys know that this all worked, if I type random stuff here, see how it starts a new page, but then the Works Cited is still on its own page and at the top? That's what a page break does. It's pretty cool. So let me backspace this. Backspace that. Backspace carefully. Ah. Oh no, I wrecked it. Well, that's okay. I'll just show you how to do it again. So if you accidentally wreck it, you just go backspace. Make sure the cursor's right between the period and the W. Go to Insert, Break, and Page Break. Then because it's not over, what you do is you highlight it. Then we go to Format, Align and Indent, Indentation Options, No Indent, Apply. Then we center. So that is how you get the, the Works Cited to start on its own page. Next we have, well, there's two problems with these citations. Like the citations themselves are correct. It's just the formatting that's not. The first thing we got to fix are these links. So you don't want the links to be actual links anymore. Once you get to the final stages of a paper, it looks unprofessional to still have them be blue. And I know some of you have tried like changing the font color and stuff, and I mean that's better than nothing, but it's not technically the right way to do it. And you want to do it the right way because otherwise the links are still active and you can click on them, and MLA doesn't like that for whatever reason. So to fix it, all you have to do is click, and sometimes it'll be a hover, sometimes it'll be a control click, and then you hit this little slash icon. There we go. And it gets rid of the blue. So I'm just going to do it again. Slash icon, slash icon, slash icon, and slash icon. Now I'm ready to do my indents. And the way I like to do it is manually, but there's lots of ways you could do it. So what I do is I hit Enter and Tab. And sometimes Enter makes it go too far though, so then you backspace. But other times you have to hit Enter. It's weird. But anyway, these, I think it did that because I already messed with these earlier. Normally it wouldn't go down as far. But anyway, so second lines, you just go, Enter Tab, or if you've already messed with it, just hit Tab. And let me just do that on the next one, Tab. That one's by itself. Last one, Tab. So for the third line, we want to put part of it on that other line, on the second line, because it's weird to have like blank spaces. So I think maybe through the word action would fit. So what I'm going to do is put the cursor where I want it and hit Enter, and Enter splits the lines automatically. Only problem is it turns it blue again, so we get rid of the hyperlink, and then I want to put a period at the end of the citation to show that it's the end. We'll do the same thing with this one. I think maybe through film is where I want to split that. Oh, I can do more. So if you can do more, you just backspace a couple times. And then let me try here. Yeah, nice. Then I'm going to remove the hyperlink and hit a period. Same thing with the next one. I think I could split it there. Nice. So you kind of eyeball it to figure out how much you think can fit in there. And sometimes I use my fingers kind of as a ruler to figure it out. And a period there. And the Box Office Mojo one's actually correct by itself because it's only one line. And then this third one, I don't think there's room. I don't think there's any room for the URL in the second line. So I'm just going to hit Tab. And sometimes it does that. At least in Google Docs it does that. If you hit Tab and it moves over, just hit backspace once. And that fixes that. Now I need to move the line up, and it should fit. So I'm going to hit backspace. Oh, come on. Huh, that's weird. It doesn't want to fit. Well, thankfully, the HTTPS isn't supposed to be there, so I can just delete it. And now it fits. And that's it. That's all of them. Yeah, and notice how, everything, well, all those top lines there, notice how they're still 1 inch from the side, just like the rest of the paper. They're not like further in or further out or anything like that. They're just, regular sentences, basically. Treat them like regular sentences. And then these secondary lines, they're like, an indented paragraph. So basically you just do opposite indents, right? Instead of indenting the first line, you indent the second and third and even fourth lines of a citation. And they call that a hanging indent because the top line kind of hangs out there. All right, now it's time for Word. We're going to do the same thing. So, yeah, it's underlining some stuff. That's kind of annoying. Yeah, you can just ignore. Ignore. Sometimes spell checkers are wrong. Even JSpell, the one that I recommend, sometimes they're wrong. So you have to use your own judgment and be like, I know this is right. I'm not going to change it. Especially with names. Spell checkers in general are bad with names. Okay, so one thing that's weird about some versions of Word, they like hide the header. So it's like it's not there, but it is there. So if I tap this, if I click on this header button, there we go, it shows what it technically looks like. And then that number is where the page number would go, and it's just a number symbol because it changes on every page automatically. So that first one says name of student, but then the other pages say name. See, it's the same issue that we had before. So I'm going to go to options and same across the entire document. And name is good, or you'd type in your name, and the number symbol is good. You can just leave that. And something I do see with a lot of these is sometimes you don't have any space between like the number and your name. That's not good. You want to have, one space between your name and the number so that it's more readable. Then I'm just going to click the middle of the screen to make that go away. And if I want to check and see what the header actually looks like, I can go to View and Reading View. And give it a second. There we go. So that's what it actually looks like. Oh, and I see now it's the wrong font. It's Times New Roman, whereas the rest of the paper is in Arial 11. So I'm going to hit, let's see, let me go to Edit Document. So that's a button on the top right. Edit. Okay, here we go. Header. That's weird that it's not showing the font on here. It should. So you need to highlight the whole thing, even the number symbol. And then it brings up this little pop-up menu. So I'm just going to go ahead and use that to choose Arial 11. There we go. And then I'm going to tap the middle of the screen. So the next thing we need to fix is the Works Cited page. And thankfully, inserting a page break here is basically the same as with Google Docs. So I'm just going to go backspace. And I'm going to go ahead and fix the title right now. Works Cited and no page. And then I have the cursor right between the period and the W. I'm going to hit Insert. And there's page break right here. And in the Word app, it just says page. And it's a little different. It doesn't work as well. So if you can, use the web version or the desktop version for page breaks. So I'm going to hit page break. And then I highlight the Works Cited. Oh, and as you can see now, it says page break right there in the middle. So you know there is a page break now. It's still not letting me highlight. Wait, oh, it was working. There we go. Okay, so it's highlighted. Now I need to go to the Home tab. So in Word, at least the web version of Word, it's not showing the full toolbar. If I want to show the full toolbar, I can hit this arrow and it'll show more stuff. But if you're just using the limited toolbar, hit the 3 dots and there's the stuff I need. So I'm going to hit Special Indent and hit None, and that fixes it. then I'm going to center it. Now we have these hyperlinks again, and you either hover or oh, so in this one, if you click on it, it opens. That's what it does. We don't want that. So I'm gonna try tap and hold. Okay, there we go. So again, you would like right click or, control click or, hover, something like that will work. On my tablet, tap and hold worked. And then I'm going to remove the hyperlink, which should be, yep. So there's this arrow over here. I hit the arrow and then remove link. Come on, arrow. And then we're going to remove link. I clicked on it again. And this one, oh, I clicked on it again. Okay. All right, I'm going to tap and hold. Come on, tap and hold. Remove link. Tap and hold. Remove link. Tap and hold. Remove link. And now, just to make things easier, I'm going to highlight this whole thing. Come on. There we go. And I'm going to make sure everything is, well, it is already Arial, but it doesn't hurt to check. Arial 11. And font color needs to be black or automatic in this case. And we're going to remove underline. Or add, oh, that added underline. Let me hit it one more time. Removes it. And then this blue line here, that's just, it's saying there's an error. So I'm going to hit ignore. And actually, there should be a period after that URL. I'm going to put periods after all of them. But now they are fixed. Period after that. Period after that. Okay. Now I have to fix the indent. I hit tab. And again, if I hadn't messed with this earlier, I would hit enter tab. But since I have, just tab. And then tab again. And the URL fits, so I'm just going to leave it. Next one, tab, tab. Yeah, these ones, the URLs already fit. That's nice. Ignoring that. Tab. Oh, come on. There we go. And the Box Office Mojo one is okay. Because it's, it's just a one-line citation. Next one, tab and tab. And say this HTTPS, if it had to be there, I would just, split this URL like there. And remember, the way that you split a URL is by putting the cursor in the middle and hitting enter. But since I know that that the HTTPS is not supposed to be there. Here, I'm gonna remove that link again. I'm just gonna delete it. So URLs don't have to have the HTTPS. They're not supposed to actually, so you can delete it. But oddly enough, the www, they do want that. So if there's a www, leave it. But if there's anything else, get rid of it. And I'm gonna backspace that. Backspace that, then it fits. Nice. Okay. So now I have a fixed works cited, and if I want to make sure it's fixed, all I have to do is go to View and Reading View. And yep, looks good. And one other thing I just want you guys to notice here is that all the works cited entries, they're double spaced, just like the paper. So, don't single space them or make like giant spaces or anything like that. Just make sure that it's all the same spacing as the rest of the paper. Yeah, so that's it. That's how you fix a paper in Word.